Welcome to my channel and to today's video, which is going to be something a little bit different to my usual content. I am going to be doing my first ever reaction video. Now, this won't be something that everyone is going to be interested in, so feel free to skip this video, but please do come back for the next one. There will be some people who will be of the opinion that I should not be sticking my nose in, and that's perfectly fine. I respect that. To anyone who feels that way, I would suggest giving this video a miss as well, because you're not going to like what I've got to say. And there will also be those who may think I'm doing this in a blatant attempt to try and get more subscribers. My response to this would be, if people are watching this video because this is the kind of video they like, they're not going to like the rest of my content. So even if they do hit the subscribe button because of this video, they'll be unsubscribing again pretty quickly. So it's not really going to work to get me more followers. Although, if you do want to subscribe, please feel free. Happy to have you. So, the video in question is by a YouTuber called Goatis. Now, I don't follow him. I don't really know anything about him. And for those reasons, I am going to do my best to be as objective as possible and give him the benefit of the doubt. The video of his I am reacting to is called Lovely British Meals for a Happy and Healthy Life, Innit. And it is, as he states, a review of Hannah Marling's What I Eat in a Day. I am just doing it because I guess I want to make people aware that things they say on the internet can sometimes be taken a certain way by other people. You may say something in jest which somebody else takes as being very personal and very hurtful, and there are ways of critiquing and reviewing in a constructive manner, and there are ways of doing it in a pretty vitriolic and derogatory manner. Right, let's get on with the video.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am back with another What I Eat in a Day. I know you guys love seeing these videos, and I'm also going food shopping today, so I thought I would take you along with me. When I say food shopping, I never do a full weekly shop because I'm always filming different things and I live alone, so it's never a huge shop anyway.
Forever
but
alone.
Again, I know you guys,
I don't see why there is any need for that comment of forever alone.
I love seeing what I buy too, so I thought I would include it in today's video. Good morning, it's time for breakfast. So today I'm going to have something you've seen me try in a recent video, some of this sticky toffee pudding granola. This is from Sainsbury's. This is really good. If you didn't watch that video, I really like.
Tesco's actually also has pretty good granola. You should try it. Innit.
Good to know he likes Tesco's granola.
Granola. I didn't think that it captured the taste of sticky toffee pudding. I also have these sticky toffee yogurts. I'm just going to have some yogurt and granola for breakfast. I was also going to have a crumpet, but I remembered I've got
A crumpet?
So I am actually going
Lovely.
today.
Mocking someone's accent, I mean, it could just be his sense of humour. I have quite a dry and sometimes sarcastic sense of humour myself, so I'm not going to jump on him for that yet. Gonna see how the video progresses.
So I will take you. Oh, I'm going to have a coffee. What coffee am I going to have? I'm just going to have a Costa Caramel latte. Anyway, so I've got my big bowl of what's it called, yogurt and granola. I haven't actually mixed this together yet, like sticky.
Okay, the only good thing about it is that she's using real yogurt instead of soy yogurt, which all of the girls use nowadays. Otherwise, it's absolute garbage. Really, that's just a typical British slave breakfast. If you don't have granola, then you have beans, which are also seeds. British breakfasts are always based on seeds. It's what the slaves eat.
Okay, a few things to address here. First of all, soy is what all the girls eat. Well, I suppose technically I'm a woman, not a girl. I've never knowingly or intentionally had a soy yogurt or soy milk. I am quite happy with dairy. So that is kind of a sweeping judgment, shall we say? Then we come on to slave food, which the term does not sit well with me. Saying British breakfasts are all grains and beans, 2 words for you. Full English.
You put in yogurt with the sticky toffee pudding granola, but that bit of granola tasted a bit cardboardy. It doesn't, normally. Anyway, I've got back into drinking coffee near enough every day. It didn't take me long. I think maybe because it's getting colder, that's why. I don't know, I don't even know why I wanted to stop drinking it in the first place anyway. But
It's an addiction. It produces a lot of adrenaline, and if you don't have any actual natural energy, which would come from a good breakfast based on animal foods, then of course you're going to be relying on coffee for energy, which it isn't really. It just stresses your body a lot.
Well, I can't disagree with what he says there. Caffeine is an addiction, or it can be. Hannah having a coffee in the morning with her breakfast. At least he is reviewing what she has in a day and giving some sound reasoning as to why he thinks that perhaps coffee is not the best choice.
right, I'm so weird. I'm not weird, but like, I've now stopped drinking Pepsi Max. And I realised yesterday, I was like, I haven't bought Pepsi Max in weeks. So I've added it to my shopping list.
The country's so degenerated.
When you look at the state of the current government, I'm not sure I can disagree with what he's saying in that particular statement. However, I'm not sure he's actually referring to the state of our politics. I think he's referring to the state of our diet.
And then I've got to do some returns. Obviously, I'm going to actually look around the shops as well, because I can't help myself, guys. I actually think it's a problem. If I leave the house, I have to buy something. Just anything. Actually,
She's stupid. She's a stupid girl.
Vlogmas, because
I don't say that to offend her. It's just very clear.
I don't see there is any reason to make that comment. Maybe he means ignorant rather than stupid, which is maybe slightly less offensive. He doesn't give it any context. So without context, it really is something that just comes across, in my opinion, as an insult.
I did my first Vlogmas. Also, just before I do, yesterday I binge watched Billy and Greg on ITV. I just love watching them because they're from my area. Even if they wasn't from my area, I would still watch it. Yesterday I did nothing. I genuinely didn't leave the house, and it's the first time where I just sat down and gone, no. I had like a list of things to do, and I was like, no.
I don't understand what kind of people watch these videos and actually care about what she's saying. It's incredibly boring. Nobody cares about what you did yesterday or what kind of shows you watched. Or does somebody actually care? I don't know. I just can't relate to it.
Well, I watch those videos, and at the time I'm filming this, almost 48,000 people also watch those videos and find them interesting. Hannah has a certain demographic in her audience, and I think it's fair to say that Goatis probably doesn't fall into that demographic. So the fact that he doesn't find what she's saying interesting or relatable does not come as a surprise. So I'm not going to slate him for saying that because it's a fair comment. The thing I find interesting is that he fast forwards through some of her video. It's meant to be a review of what she's eating, but he doesn't fast forward all of the bits where she's relating anecdotes or just chatting. And I'm not quite sure why, since he said she's not relatable, he's not interested in those bits, and it's meant to be a review of what she eats in a day. It does make me slightly question his motives behind making this video.
Just do nothing today. I mean, I still did loads in my flat, like cleaning, changing my bed in, shit like that. But I was like, no, do everything you need to do today, just chill. And I just sat and watched TV nearly all day. It was amazing.
Amazing.
Vlogmas week 1.
Because I leave for work at 6.
I still worked from time
I
last
don't
year.
start work till 8, but I hate being late. Like, that is one thing.
Oh my god, my Vlogmas is going to be elevated this year because I'm...
I don't know how old she is, but she's looking really old, as if she has aged prematurely a lot. Around the eyes especially. She already has a kind of a granny look, even though she's probably in her 20s, 30s.
Again, that's not really related to what she's eating. I could potentially understand that type of comment if he was then going on to say there were things in her diet or missing from her diet that could be impacting on her facial appearance, but he isn't. It comes across as being malicious because there is nothing backing up what is being said.
I just like to have things in the freezer for when I don't have anything in. I also picked up these. If you watched me years ago, I used to be obsessed with these, and they're just like frozen mini pizza subs. I would always have them for lunch on a busy day at work. And then I also picked up a pack of frozen croissants. I'm not gonna lie, they weren't cheap, and I was like, do I or don't I? Because I think these were £3.40. But then you pay like, I picked up some Pepsi Max. I was literally talking about these earlier. I can't wait to have one. Hello. My favourite bottle of red and a bottle of tequila rosé. These were both on club card points, and it's coming up to that time of year, you know, you want to have shots in your fridge. It's the festive season. I also picked up these. I think these are new because I've never seen them before. They're just body washes. They were on club card offer to £1, and they all smell really nice, so I just picked up all three.
No wonder she looks so worn out. It looks like she only eats grains and drinks Pepsi, essentially.
But wait, what's this?
There's onions, tomatoes, garlic, vegetable stock.
Pretty sure I saw some vegetables and some fruit there.
I've got some bread, mini custard, and I've another pack of these. If you watch my B&M taste test, I love these. I said these would be really good with a little bit of custard, so I picked up the mini packs. I've got the Christmas pudding flavour crisps. Sometimes I like to pick up these things because I get worried that they'll sell out, so I'll take these for a Tesco Christmas video. Butter, and some of these.
Is that actually butter, or is it margarine? It looks like margarine to me.
These are unreal, by the way, and some salmon. Okay, so my meal deal of choice. Well, actually, it isn't my choice. Well, it kind of is. I got the hoisin duck wrap because I wanted the ready vegetable pesto one. I never seem to have it anymore. Only at little Tesco. So I sold out when I go and get it at little Tesco. And then got packets of vinegar squares. I only ever seem to get.
Man, when I watch this stuff and see all of this garbage that people buy there, I'm just so incredibly glad not to live in the UK anymore. It was such a nightmare. I'm so glad.
So am I, Goatis. So am I.
Vinegar when I get a meal deal. I don't know what it is. I've been driving for 3 years now, and that was the first time I've been pulled over. I got a £100 fine and 3 points on my licence, which I was a bit like, okay, it's not that bad because it's lucky. I literally pulled up for 2 seconds to let my friend jump back in the car, but it was on a zigzag. Like, you know where there's a crossing? But the thing is, I was at the, this is how much I didn't even know that you couldn't park on a zigzag, because I was at the end of the zigzags just before the double yellow line. So if I'd have literally pulled forward and me...
She even makes stories that could be interesting, boring somehow.
He's only slightly sped this up so that we can still understand what she's saying. And it seems to me the only reason he's done that is so that he can then mock her and make negative comments on what she's saying, because it's nothing to do with what she's eating, so not really relevant to what his video is supposed to be about.
Literally there for a minute after that happened, I felt like a criminal. Do you know what I mean? I've never been in trouble with the police. My heart was going pitter-patter. I could barely drive after. I was like, nah, I can't. I'm going to get... And now I'm just paranoid. I'm going to get pulled over for anything I do. I genuinely...
You sniffed real freedom for the first time, and then you went back to being a slave.
Anyway.
There are ways that you can sniff real freedom without breaking the law. So many ways. I don't really see why he's even commenting on that, because, again, it's not relevant to what she's eating, and slating somebody for obeying the law rather than breaking it.
I'm going to eat these.
She's gonna look so horrible by the age of 40, probably even sooner.
Again, no context, therefore it just comes across as insulting.
With this makeup. Oh my god, why is my face that colour? Look at the colour on my neck.
That is so typical, except that usually British girls have an orange face and the neck is white. This is different, but it really shows how much makeup they always use. I always saw this in everyday life.
Oh.
that's a video of Hannah on a night out. Most women, and indeed some men, put makeup on more than they would normally wear when they are going on a night out.
Oh my god, I am mortified. Is that what you look like? I'm only filming vlog, my
But then, I mean, look at all the makeup that Hannah is plastered in this video. Oh, wait.
I'm just watching the final episode of Billy and Greg and I'm going to have a couple of squares of this. Again, this was in my B&M video, but yeah, I've been making my way through.
I haven't even really been commenting on what she eats on a day because it's all garbage anyway. What can I even say? She just eats processed junk. It's completely gonna destroy her health in every way possible. That's it.
Well, he's accurate when he says he hasn't really commented on what she's eating, so that's fair. There have been a lot of processed foods in this one day of eating that Hannah has filmed. I can't argue because there is evidence that a diet high in processed foods does have negative impacts on health. Now, I am not a nutritionist. I've not studied it and I'm not qualified in it. I don't know if Goatis is or not, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Through this, because you know what they say, 2 squares a day keep the doctor away. I stick by my word, this is amazing. The salted toffee is unreal, so good. I'm now making my grilled cheese to go with my tomato soup. So I have buttered the outside of this piece and obviously haven't buttered the inside, if that makes sense.
Like I said, I think that it's really margarine or it's vegetable oils with butter mixed maybe. It didn't look like butter, like pure butter at all to me. Just based on the packaging and the hard sign that which I think is margarine was trying to form. Anyway, if she's using that, then she's going to be getting a lot of artery clogging vegetable oils, and that is what is found in clogged arteries actually for the most part. Cheese, okay, well at least she's using cheese. And I guess she eats meat, so at least she's not a vegan or a vegetarian. But you can also eat incredibly unhealthy still, even if you eat animal foods. And this is the way to do it.
Makes sense.
I'm going to cite my sources in the description box below so that you can see where I am getting this evidence from to back up what I'm going to state. Because I am not a qualified nutritionist, vegetable oils in liquid or soft tub form, such as flora, are high in polyunsaturated fat. This does not clog arteries. What clogs arteries is saturated fat and trans fat. Now, if you have solid vegetable oils, they can be high in trans fats and they are bad.
And then I'm just going to fry this. Voila. My dinner is served. Why do I always wear white when I'm doing stuff like this? Oh, I feel like I should get a tea towel.
Soup is also slave food. Soup used to be made when people had no food left at all, when there was no meat, no animals around, then they got whatever they could find. Or for example, if they had animal bones left over, and then they put in some fruits and vegetables, whatever they could find, tubers, which they would dig up, of course, and made some food out of it, which was called soup. Of course, really, that's just starvation food, and she actually just eats it on purpose, which a lot of people do nowadays. They think that it's healthy even, but then you also have the bread, which are just carbs, anti-nutrients, and pesticides.
It's embarrassing.
Here we have again slave food. I actually think soup is incredibly nutritious if you put the right things in it. You can get so many vegetables and other things in soup, and it can be a really cheap and easy way to feed yourself and your family. We are currently in a cost of living crisis here in the UK. There are people out there who are having to choose between heating and eating. There are parents skipping meals so that they can feed their kids. People are having to make choices based on what they can afford. You can make soup from scratch. That way, there are no preservatives or additives in it. You know exactly what has gone into that soup. Plenty of soups are made with animal products. To say it's a starvation food is I think, inaccurate. If you're eating something like cabbage soup or just bone broth, then yes. But a lot of soups can be packed with nutrients. And carbs, what is wrong with carbs? They are necessary as part of a balanced diet. They are bad if you eat too many of them, like any other food group. Everything in moderation. And yes, there are certain types of carbs that are better for you than others, but you know, what's wrong with carbs? I love bread. I love bread.
Isn't it, if I put a bib on? I have just heated this up as well, by the way. It's not lukewarm, it's really hot. This is this like low fat bread. That concludes another What I Eat in a Day. I think I'm going to start doing these weekly or bi-weekly. Let me know what you think. I'm also doing more What I Eat in a Day shorts. Just because it's the world we're living in.
I'm definitely subscribing.
You've got to move it.
Now that's definitely him trying to be funny, right? I genuinely think that is him trying to be funny. The problem is that everything he's said up until now has come across in a more negative light, that by the time he gets to this sarcastic joke, it lands really, really badly. And instead of seeming wry, it just comes across as mocking.
Away from YouTube, okay? It's happening. Do you know, I've just got to come to terms with it. Even myself, I spend more time on TikTok than I do on YouTube these days.
Okay, cool video. I see this all the time. Just a typical British slave life. And it is one of the most enslaved countries on earth. The food is some of the worst possible. And it's not as if they can't get good food in Britain. There's a lot of farms out there still. You can get raw milk, good quality meat, somewhat anyway. But no, instead you just eat junk from Tesco's and Sainsbury's. This is probably also what her parents ate, more or less, which is why she seems somewhat degenerated. And her life is going to be miserable, most likely. Probably also childless, because realistically, who's gonna want to be with her? Thanks for watching.
So much to unpack in that conclusion. Britain being an enslaved nation. In Britain, men and women from all walks of life are allowed to vote. We have access to free schooling and free healthcare. There are many countries in the world where people do not have those rights. I really don't know what evidence there is for saying Britain is an enslaved nation, but then perhaps I'm simply brainwashed. Who knows? But I really, really don't like the numerous references to slavery. Raw milk. Again, I will cite my sources in the description box below. There's a reason we pasteurize milk, and that is to kill all the germs. Raw milk can make you very, very ill, and in some cases, this could lead to death. So advocating and encouraging people to drink raw milk seems to me quite irresponsible. Again, I don't know if Goatis has nutritional qualifications, and perhaps he does, and perhaps this is something he has studied at length and in great depth and has far more knowledge than I do on the subject. But I don't think you can put somebody down for drinking pasteurized milk, because that's what most of us have, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It removes the germs, it doesn't remove the nutrition from the milk. And then the last comment, which to me screams of patriarchy and misogyny. I'm assuming, given his lack of knowledge about Hannah's life and Hannah herself, Goatis does not follow her. He does not know if she wants children. He does not know if she perhaps has fertility issues. He does not know if she has perhaps had some sort of tragic loss associated with pregnancy. And to make a comment like that, it's really out of order, in my opinion. I think it's quite a personal attack on Hannah. I'm not making this video to defend Hannah. Hannah is perfectly capable of defending herself. I'm certainly not tagging her in this video or making her aware that I have made it. I would not be happy being spoken about like that, or having someone I care about spoken about like that. And if you are someone like Goatis who would be okay with having those things said about someone in your life, I would suggest that you maybe need to take a look in the mirror, because I really don't think it's acceptable. There are ways you can critique people that do not involve pulling them apart, mocking them and making fun of them. And I've done my best in this video not to do that to Goatis, not to make any judgments about him or his character based on one video of his. I did start watching a few of his other videos, but they are not on YouTubers I follow. A lot of them I haven't even heard of. So I didn't really feel I was in a position where I could really comment on them in the way that I can with a YouTuber I have followed for some time. And she shares quite a lot of her life with us, so we do get to know quite a bit about her as a person, as well as her food choices. So that is the end of my reaction video, which is just as well because the light is fading. Feel free to drop a comment in the box below, but please be respectful to me and to each other, and I will show you the same courtesy. Thank you so much for watching, if indeed you have made it this far in the video. Take care, and yeah, just be nice to each other, people. Just be nice. Bye.